Hello everybody and welcome back to another mini structures video. Today we're going to be looking at how to build the Undersized Outpost, which is a tiny 7x7 version of the giant Pillager Outpost we have behind me. So this is the Undersized Outpost, and I'd say, oh yikes, what's going on here? And so I'd say that this is probably one of my favorite, okay, this is too interesting. And so I'd say that this is probably one of my most, okay, this is too funny, what's going on? I think we gotta watch how this plays out. Alright, I'll get back to the mini structure video in a second. We got 4 pillagers chasing after Wandering Trader right here, and he's racing around. Oh, he's not gonna make it. He's stuck on this cliff. He has to make it through. Oh, and that's it. He's over. Now the llamas are attacking. And now it's a battle between the llamas and these guys. Things are all frozen now. The leads are on the floor. Oh, there goes one of the llamas. I don't think this guy's gonna make it out either. Ooh, this guy just got shot. And there goes the final llama. Alright, that was pretty interesting, but back to the mini structure. So what I was trying to say is this is one of my favorite mini structures. I'd say definitely the favorite out of all the videos I made so far. It just looks so adorable when you have it compared to the actual Pillager Outpost. I just love this one and it still looks so much like it. I'd say this has got to be one of my favorite ones. But for anyone who's seen any of our other mini structure videos, before we show how to build the tiny Pillager Outpost, we're going to go look at the actual Pillager Outpost and talk about some of the different game mechanics and just some of the different things about it. So the Pillager Outpost is a 20 block tall dark oak, birch, and cobblestone watchtower used by the pillagers to keep eye on the villagers. And so probably because of that fact, Pillager Outpost can spawn in any biome that a village can, and so those biomes include the plains, the desert, the savanna, the taiga, the snowy taiga, and then also the snowy tundra. And if you play on Pocket Edition, Pillager Outpost can also spawn in Sunflower Forest, Taiga Hills, and then also Snowy Taiga Hills. And so when you try to make it into a Pillager Outpost, you'll be completely swarmed by these guys right here, which are called pillagers, and so they'll be extremely aggressive and they'll chase you down and shoot you with crossbows and really try to get rid of you. If you make it into here, you'll enter into a pretty empty room in the first room of the Pillager Outpost, with the staircase that goes up right here. You go up here, you'll enter in this little room like this, the second story, with a few little balcony type things, and another staircase that you could go up further. And then the third story is a pretty empty room, and so then the final one, the fourth layer, which is probably the most wanted, is this giant lookout area for the pillagers, and it will also always have a single chest. And so when you make it up to this chest, there's nothing too extraordinary in here, but here's an example of what it could look like. And so what I would say for some of the weaker gear is that you could find dark oak logs, you could find a crossbow, which is pretty cool, you could find wheat, carrots, potatoes, you'd find arrows and string, and you could also find a tripwire hook. And what I would say that you could find for some of the cooler items are a bottle of enchanting, an iron ingot, and then an enchanting book. And so the final thing I have for the actual main tower is that you could find these cool little banners on the wall of the tower. So there'll be 8 in total going around this entire thing, and I'd say that's pretty much it for the main tower. And the reason I say that's it for the main tower is that a Pillager Outpost can actually spawn in with some different structures nearby. And so those structures include cages made out of dark oak fences, which will either be empty or even have the possibility of having an iron golem inside. You could also find little target practice dummies, which will be these little scarecrow looking guys. And so the final thing you could find are some little wool tents. And so the last thing I want to say about the Pillager Outpost is that these guys right here, the pillagers, will actually naturally spawn in right here, and they'll spawn in by a 72 by 72 by 54 tall area around this thing, which pretty much means that you'll see some guys within this thing and then also just walking around it protecting it. So actually I just remembered one more quick thing, is that sometimes you'll find these guys right here, which are called Pillager Captains. And so the reason that these guys are so special is that if you take one of these guys out yourself, either using some kind of weapon, if you use a trap or something where it can't recognize that you were the one that killed it, you won't get this effect. The effect is called Bad Omen, which will pop up in the corner with this little pillager looking face, and if you get Bad Omen and you enter a village, it will start a raid. So Bad Omen has 6 different levels of intensity, with 6 being the worst. And then one final thing is that to get a higher Bad Omen, you have to kill more of these guys. So if you kill one, you'll get Bad Omen 1, the second one you kill, you'll get Bad Omen 2, and it will keep on stacking up until you either drink a milk bucket, enter a village, or you wait for the effect to die off. And it also takes quite a long time for it to go away. And I guess you could also go into the end or do something weird like that, which will remove your effects. I just remembered another thing I should mention. This was added in the 1.14 Pillager Village update, and so it's a pretty new structure. I believe it's actually the newest structure as the time of me recording this video, so that's pretty cool. But now we could get on to our little tiny version of that and show how to build that. And so I'm just going to start off by showing each layer of this thing and just showing how to build it up from the ground up. So I just grabbed everything I needed and set my game mode to survival, because it's time to get this thing built up block by block. And so first of all, the area that you need for this thing is just a 5x5 area. Inside that all laid out with these concrete blocks right here. And so now we can get started. So I'm going to start off by grabbing the cobblestone, and I'm going to fill in pretty much everywhere except for the corners and then these little side middle spots. And so just like this, and so I like doing a little pattern just like this. So I'm marking out the corners, leaving this spot empty, and then just filling in the rest of the middle area. And so then after that, all we need are some cobblestone walls right in the corners here. So 4 in each of the corners just like this. And then the final thing we have for the first layer are some cobblestone stairs, which will be placed in like this. And so the little cutout of the stair will be facing upwards and out. And so it goes just like this, and you place in each of those. Now starting on the second layer, I'm going to grab some dark oak planks and place them in each of the corners of the 3x3 area up here. So pretty much just not on top of the cobblestone walls, but 1 block in. And now I'm going to grab some dark oak fences, and I'm going to place 2 on top of each of these blocks we have right here. So just like this on each one. And then in between those fences, I'm going to place in some dark oak planks. And so it creates this little tunnel going through the center. And so then once you get that done, you can place this in at any time, but I like adding in a little ladder, so you're actually able to climb up this thing. So I'm going to place in 2 ladder blocks there, and then I'm going to start on the birch, which will go right here, and place the final ladder on that, with 3 going just like this. And then carrying on with the birch planks, I'm going to take some and place it on top of all the dark oak planks we have in each of the middle spots. And then on the spots next to the birch planks, on the top of these fences, I'm going to place in 4 cobblestone. And then also off those birch planks, I'm going to place in some dark oak stairs. So I'm going to place it just like that, where the little cutout is facing downwards and away from the thing. So I just placed in all those stairs, and the final thing we have for this layer are some dark oak slabs. So on the spot next to the cobblestone and next to the dark oak stairs, I'm going to place in some slabs. So there's a total of 8 on this layer, and you just place it in going around the entire thing. And now on top of those stairs and slabs, we're going to place in some dark oak fences, and so these are for the railing, the little lookout area. And so then once you get all of those in, you also need some more dark oak fences, and so you're going to place 1 on each of these corners, and you could pick either one you want. So pretty much I'm going to place each one on the left side just like this. So 1 there, 1 here, 1 here, and And it's important that you kind of have this type of structure, and the reason I did it this way is if you added another railing here, it kind of gets a bit too crowded. I think it's something you could add if you want because it kind of works out with the roof still, but yeah, doing it like this is just an easy way to still add some kind of structure but not to have it too crowded. So I just popped up here, and that's because we're going to be working on the roof next. And so the first thing I'm going to start off with is just placing a dark oak plank on top of each of the fences we have here, so those 4 just like this. And then I'm going to start placing in some of the slabs, and so going in and kind of on top of the cobblestone we have here, I'm going to place a slab all poking in kind of like this, creating this weird little pattern. And the reason I wanted to place those in is because we're going to be placing some more planks off of those to create these little arrow shapes. And so you're placing those arrow shapes in each of the corners of this thing. And now that we got that all in place, we could place in some more slabs, and so I'm going to add in these ones here, which kind of create this little donut shaped thing. And then on top of all the slabs we placed in so far, I'm going to place another slab, and so we create a full block but kind of off center. And so I did all that in a little diamond shape. So the final thing you have left to do is to place in 5 more planks. I'm going to do it on the top of the slab here because you can see it's actually a slab block and not a real block. I'm just going to fill in that entire area, and that wraps up the roof. And with that, it's pretty much all finished. And so this is the tiny Pillager Outpost. I'll show you a few things you could actually do with it. One thing I think is kind of funny is you could add in a chest here, because on the real thing we have a chest up at the top. You could add in some torches and some different things like that, maybe even some banners on some different spots here. That's pretty much the design, and this is definitely one of my favorite ones. It's just so adorable, and I still think it's a great representation of the actual Pillager Outpost. So I think that's it for getting this thing all constructed. And so I think that's going to be it for the video, but I have a few more things I want to say. First of all, thanks to Joe the Bro for commenting to add in some background music. I was actually thinking about doing that a bit earlier, and after getting that comment, I decided to add that into this video. So if you notice some music playing in the background, I hope that was a nice touch. I thought it seemed pretty good. And so I'm happy with the way that turned out, and I actually have a pretty cool idea planned for a survival series episode with some background music in it, pretty much making different environments have different music associated to them, and it should be pretty cool. And so one other thing is I might not have a video next week. I've been uploading a video every Friday for something like 20 Fridays now, and it's been a lot of work. And so if I do get a video out next Friday, just know I'm working pretty hard to get that out, and if not, just know that I'll have one the next Friday. But that's the plan for now. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time, and see you later. Oh, and by the way, I'm pretty sure the sheep is still regretting his life decisions.